MELF!
Welcome everybody. How are you today? Welcome to MegaCon Tampa. This is Make 'em Laugh Films, How to Be a YouTube Star panel. I am Peter Pappas. I am the owner of Viera Comics in Melbourne, Florida. I am a member of Make 'em Laugh Films. I am filling in today for the head and executive director, producer, and creator and founder of Make 'em Laugh Films, Jason Burgos. I'm cosplaying as Shazam today. So I'm filling a lot of hats, if you will, and I'd like to say I'm the dude playing the dude who's playing the other dude. To my left is Matthew Scott Kimple, also a member of Make 'em Laugh Films. Matt, introduce yourself.
My name is Matthew Scott Kimple, also a member of Make 'em Laugh Films. I am, just like Peter here, we exchange a lot of different characters. Sometimes we do different things, so it's all parody based, but we like to mix it up a little bit too. So we've all figured out very quick that you need to do this because we need this character. So we all found out we could do a lot more cosplays and characters than we ever thought we would.
And also to my right is Brad Scott, who's a very talented artist and goes by Brad Scott Art on Instagram. Brad, give us a little quick story about yourself.
So like you said, Brad Scott Art, and for Make 'em Laugh Films, and I'm an extra. And that's how I got started with it. You know, they would always be like, hey, we need the guy that plays the guy with the real guy. Brad, yeah. So that'd be me, and then I just jump in there because I'm always at Viera Comics. People say I live there, which I do, because my wife kicks me out the house constantly. And I'm an extra, I enjoy it, that's how I got started, and it's been a blast, and now I'm taking on more characters. So I've been doing Bane, I'm doing Bane today, and just from what I've been doing with them, I'm starting to develop more characters for videos.
At any given time, if any of you have questions, just raise your hand, and we've got a mic up top, so you guys can come and ask the question. We'll be happy to answer. So, Make 'em Laugh Films YouTube channel is now at 40,000 subscribers. We have multiple videos with over 1 million views, a few with over 2 million views, and the subscriber base just keeps continuing to grow very quickly now, and we're very excited about that. Make 'em Laugh Films was started by Jason Burgos in Chicago. He was a student there at the University of Illinois. It was 2008. He saw some people in his in film, I think it was like a film club, not film class. And he joined the film club, and him and about 3 or 4 other guys decided they were going to make a parody video. And they filmed, the first parody video for Make 'em Laugh Films was The Dark Knight. And it's very successful. It's very long. It's actually like movie length in its length. And it took them about a year to film and edit and all that stuff. I think it's what, 3 hours maybe or something?
That one or the Saw one?
Yeah. Saw is 3 hours, excuse me. Yeah, the other one is about an hour and a half. But in any event, they didn't know what they were doing when they started. They didn't know they were going to turn this into a career, if you will. He just wanted to have a little fun. And first and foremost, whatever you do on YouTube should be something that you're passionate about, something that you're going to have fun with, and something that you're going to invest time in and not mind investing time into it. And that's why this channel has continued to survive, thrive, and do very well, is because Jason has always had fun doing what he's doing, and surrounded himself with people that are having fun. And along the way, there have been times where it's been challenging. There's been people that he's worked with that haven't, wanted to have as much fun or tried to change his vision. But he has a very simple vision, and that's be passionate about what you do, and it'll show in the product, the final product. And that's our parody videos. We do primarily superhero parody videos, and they seem to work for us. So Jason started 2008. The Dark Knight parody was his first one. Didn't get a lot of views at first, and that was a little frustrating for him. And it took a while for that one to get to where it is now. The thing with this, when you're just starting out, is you're going to put something up that you may have worked for days, months, weeks, who knows how long you worked on whatever you're about to put on your YouTube channel. And you may not see results very quickly, and that's very frustrating. Or you may put something up that you love and think is hilarious or informative, and within 5 minutes or less, somebody's going to put underneath in the comment section, dumb, or that's stupid, or that stinks. You cannot let those things stop you. You cannot let those things keep you from finishing what your vision is, because they are simply people that don't have the ability, time, or energy to do what you're doing. And that's putting something on YouTube that you created from start to finish. And when you put something out on YouTube, you're vulnerable. A lot of people don't like being vulnerable. So Jason continued to make these parody videos, and eventually got sick of the Chicago winters and moved to Florida, and that's where we met, at Viera Comics. And we formed our little partnership, and since then we've been making videos together, and that's when we met Matt and Brad, and we have our family now. And Matt, do you have anything to add to how we started?
I'm never going to forgive you for putting me on this channel. No, actually, yeah, there was a smaller local event that started up over on the Space Coast, and it was just one of the timings was good. Everybody just kind of converged in the same place, like strangers, and oh yeah. It was neat because it was just, everything was getting rolling. He had said, Jason
Make love to the microphone. Get up, get in there.
I do love the microphone. No, Jason had already been working with Make 'em Laugh, but we started, this is about 2 years ago even, we just started working on some stuff. We had some ideas, like, hey, come to the shop, or let's go here, let's shoot over here. We put a couple videos out inside of a couple months, and then we found that niche fast. All the views started coming in really quick. We started running with it, but also trying to use other ideas. We all had like a whole book of ideas to shoot, but then people start throwing stuff at you online, using the comments. Also, probably, there is no rules against trolling the people back who are trolling you. So, no, I don't recommend that. But no, it's been kind of neat, because you start with one idea and then you go, this is actually working. So I just decided to stick around over there, and it's been just very worthwhile ever since. Plus you make people who are like family along the way, and it's pretty awesome in that regard.
Yeah, when we all got together here in Florida, our base is Melbourne, Florida, where the comic shop is, in Viera Comics. Jason, up until that point, was more or less basically waiting for cons, would go to a comic convention, film his very successful Spider-Verse videos and whatnot, and some other parody videos that he could, and that's how he was growing his channel. It was a little slower going, because to really grow a YouTube channel is you need consistent product coming out, sometimes at least once a week. The people that we've talked to that have great success, we're talking over 1 million subscribers or more and have tons of views and all that stuff, they put out 1 to 2 videos a week. It's a lot of work, but if you really want to take whatever you're doing and make it get to that next level, that's kind of what you're going to have to do. And it's going to take a while, because not everybody's just going to eventually find you. You're going to have to go and find your viewers. So you're going to have to make a video, and then you're going to have to market it. And the best way to market that is through social media, especially Instagram. Facebook helps, but we find that Instagram is probably the best way to make people see what you're doing. It's harder to grow your followers there, but when you do, they're going to be very loyal followers. Twitter helps a lot too, especially with the videos. Sometimes we've gotten lucky where we'll tweet out one of our videos to a famous person, and they'll retweet it, and that's gotten a few views. Sometimes I'll try and cheat if something is hot and popular, like The Voice, and whenever The Voice has their eliminations that night, everybody's using hashtag The Voice on Twitter. So sometimes I'll throw out a video or two and I'll put hashtag The Voice, even though we have nothing to do with The Voice. but it might make somebody see it or click on it, or you have to be aggressive in getting your viewers. Because once they see what you're doing, if they like it, they're going to stick with you. Besides growing the channel with consistent product, you're going to need patience and consistent product. That's really one of the most important lessons that I hope you take away from today, is just keep putting out whatever you're doing and enjoy doing what you're doing. If you're not enjoying it, the viewer will see that and they won't watch. Matt?
Well, too, he says to just reach out to famous people, which also translates to day and night, persistent, constant badgering and tagging. But through that efforts, he did get James Gunn to retweet our Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 pair, which helped with our views quite a bit, as well as our subscriber levels. And also what Peter was saying regarding just liking what you do, that is the biggest thing. If you don't have fun doing what you're doing, it shows in the work. Because it's not just like there's an idea, there's the script, there's costumes, there is this, like you watch a video and you can tell the difference between people going, they really are having fun doing what they're doing, versus they're just trying to make something to get attention. And there's a drastic difference, and I think that that's what's helped us as well, because we put in 8, 9, 10, 11 hours into shoots a day sometimes to make like this 5-minute video. That's a bunch of ridiculous things. But when you watch the final product, despite that being tired, running around, we're having a really good time. And that's just critical, I think.
And one point that Jason always likes to mention at the panel is when you're starting out, it's very important to know that anybody can become a YouTube sensation. Anybody can make a video go viral. If you doubt that, just look at Google lady with Chewbacca mask. She was sitting in her car, just bought a mask at Kohl's, put it on, and started laughing, and she made $400,000 from that video. It's crazy. It really is crazy. That video went viral, got millions of views, and I don't think she's done anything ever since, but whatever. She made her money and she made her mark. People for at least the next 5 or 10 years will remember her. So when you're starting out, even your phone can be used as a recording device, you know, and then you can edit the film on your phone and load it up like that. And as you grow and as you get more advanced and better, then you can buy a camcorder. And eventually what you're going to do is just get better and better equipment as you go along, because the better equipment does show up in the videos, and you can tell through audio quality and video and whatnot that these guys, they know what they're doing. And the editing software is important too as you go along. Jason uses Final Cut 7. There are more advanced versions of that, but that's the version he likes. He finds it's the best. And for now, that's what we're sticking with. And he started using a very cheap camcorder, and now he's got a 4K camera with a great audio to it, and that's not it right there.
We're using the old one.
Yeah, he didn't trust us with the good camera, but it's okay. It's okay, we get it. We drop things. Brad, what do you have to add so far to what I've said?
So we keep talking about Jason, and he's not here, and that's because he has a full-time job, and he had a job commitment this weekend. And that's one of the things that you have to be aware of is, if this is something you want to do and you want to love, you have to build it in your spare time. Unless you're just automatically independently wealthy or somebody's taking care of you and you can devote all the time to it. Other than that, you have to love it enough that in your free time, you're going to shoot the videos, edit the videos, and take the time to put something out that people will go, that's good, that's funny, that's informative, whatever it is that you're looking to do. So sometimes he'll be up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and he still has to go to work the next day just to build the brand. Once he decides to take it seriously, that's what he's committed to. So as Scott was saying, or Matt was saying, you know, Matthew Scott Kemple, the serial killer name, you know, all 3 names.
Never trust anybody with 3 names.
Never. So, you know, and Pete runs a shop all day long. They'll close the shop, he'll come home from work, Jason, and then they will film night scenes behind the shop or at somebody's house until midnight, and then Jason will go home and edit because he's like, this is funny, I want to get it out for a 5-10 minute video. That's the dedication. But it shows when you get that video and you hit that 100 mark, then you hit that 1,000 mark, and then you send it, text your friends, we just hit 1 million views on a video, and you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. And you go back and watch it yourself, 1,000,001, because I got to see it again, it was so funny. So it works, you have to really want to do it, because it takes time, and it's not an overnight thing.
Does anybody have any questions so far?
Right here.
So you guys talk
Who are you and what's your Instagram?
I don't have an Instagram, but I'm Curtis Freeborn. So you guys talk about how you spend so much time on making these videos and how much effort you put into it.
Mm-hmm.
So how hard has this recent YouTube adpocalypse hit you guys, and how much has it affected? Have you guys gotten demonetized a lot, or?
So to get monetized, that's not really going to happen until you start getting over like 1,000 subscribers, 100 subscribers really, and then you'll start like getting into that next level. The other thing to keep in mind, if you want to get your videos monetized, you can't put any copyrighted music in it or videos or anything. So whenever we're filming at the store, like sometimes music's on, we always have to make sure we mute it. We can't allow that. There's plenty of music out there that's not copyrighted that we can add to the films and the parodies. After that, you will see real results when you start getting a lot of views on your videos. It's about 1,000. You get $1 per 1,000 views. And so as you start getting videos regularly that hit 1 million views, you're going to start making some money. And you keep making money as they keep getting views. But you mentioned that apocalypse, that really hasn't affected us at all. So just keep in mind, whatever you're doing, make sure there's no copyrighted music in it or any copyrighted film, anything copyrighted.
No trademark violations.
Yeah. And then after that, just be patient, and as your subscriber base grows, you'll start seeing changes, and you'll start seeing more views. You'll start seeing more. The hashtags are key too. You can always message us afterwards, and we can help you with that. But the hashtags are a big part of it, especially on Instagram and on YouTube. Whatever you think will be trending for that video, that's what you need to make sure is attached to. Did that answer the question?
Yes, thank you.
Good.
YouTube has gotten stricter.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, one of our friends, a good friend, he's in Toronto, Canada. He started a YouTube channel. His name is Sean Ward. He's got a channel called The Sean Ward Show, and he's become a fairly big local celebrity now in Toronto, Canada. And his channel started out small, just like any other channel, and he put together this a Batman parody. And a perfect storm hit. It was the week of Toronto Fan Expo, I believe, and he had made this great video, and he was hoping maybe someday it would hit 5,000 views. He tweeted it to Paul Dini, the guy who's the creator of the Batman the Animated Series, and the artist and creator of Harley Quinn. And whatever, Paul Dini liked it. Hit him just right, he retweeted it. Whatever, I've had famous people retweet me before. They don't always take off that way. This one took off. It went viral. Within a few hours, he had hit 5,000. Next thing you know, let's say he put the video up on Monday, by Thursday it was over 1 million views. It was crazy. It's never, it never happens that fast all the time for people, but it does happen. So you just have to be out there, you have to be persistent, and you have to keep trying. Since then, he decided he was going to make this a full-time job. So he still was working while he was doing this. He was putting out videos, and he decided, you know, I need to be consistent about this. I'm going to put out a video once a week. And it wasn't always easy to put out a video once a week, so sometimes he would put out a video saying, although my video is not out, next week I'm going to put out this video. So he'll put out a video about the video that's coming out. Just something so people could see it and continue to be vested into that channel and keep watching. So when I first met him, I'd say probably about a year ago, I think his channel, at this point it was a full-time job for him, was around 300,000 or 400,000 subscribers. Just last week it hit 800,000 subscribers. So he's really about to take off. Because once he hits 1 million subscribers, what happens is, once you have those views, they make more views, and it just becomes, people share it. The more people sharing it, the more people watching it, it's going to snowball, and whatever you're doing is going to just keep getting bigger and bigger. When we first met, all of us, MELF, Make 'em Laugh Films, was at around 8,000 subscribers. Maybe even a touch less, but we think it was around 8. We were trying to narrow it down. Jason started implementing, through the shop we were able to do, instead of waiting for conventions, we started making our own events at the store. We started making cosplay events sometimes 2 or 3 times a month. And we'd have people come to the store, we'd have fun stuff going on at the store, we'd have people come and do meet and greets, but we'd also be using it as an opportunity to film. We'd film group things, we'd film Nerf battles, we'd film videos, we'd do improv, we do a lot of improv. And the next thing you know, Jason now has too much stuff to edit, and it's a good problem, and to put out. So he has material enough to put out 2 videos a week if he wanted to, because we keep churning out these videos. So he started doing that. He started putting out a video once a week, sometimes twice a week, and lo and behold, now we're at 40,000 subscribers. We hit that mark last week. And that's because of the consistency and the sheer joy we're having. And people do notice that and always comment about that. There's like, you guys are always doing something, you guys are always having fun. And we're like, well, we're just being ourselves, you know, and there's just happens to be a camera rolling, and people happen to like our vulgar humor. You know, oh, what?
Can you talk more about how the collaboration really kind of sparked things? Because just collaboration, I would like Pete just to talk a little bit more about the collaboration, because what you're doing, you may find someone that doesn't do exactly what you do, but they marry up good with it. So Jason with Make 'em Laugh Films and Viera Comics with a comic owner who doesn't mind putting on a costume and making a fool of himself just happened to be a perfect marriage. So can you talk more about that?
Sure. Since we've done what we've done, it's actually it's a formula that's being emulated by other comic shops and people that want to have YouTube channels. So that's kind of cool, knowing that we started that. But it's not going to just automatically happen for whoever is trying to copy it, because, like I said, we got together and we are not only making videos together, but we're friends, and that's not something you can force. So our partnership was great for us, but it's not one that is just going to be automatically copied. So we actually go out together, we meet up at the shop, we have pizza together, all sorts of good things. Drink. We have a lot of fun going to these conventions. We've started touring a little bit more. We've gotten invited as guests to a lot of conventions this past year. Fan Expo has been a big friend to the channel and to the comic shop, so thank you, Fan Expo. Like I said, like Brad said, you're going to need to find a partner. You don't need to find a partner, but sometimes it's good to find a partner. There's another a group that we're friends with that do reviews. They review boxes, mystery boxes, comics, statues, products, comic things like that. So they've asked me lately to say, hey, can I come to your shop, or will you be a guest? If you know somebody that has a similar view or interest you, or if you're doing a YouTube channel on you know, home fixing up or whatever and stuff, go to Ace Hardware and find like their expert and have them be a guest on your show. Or you know, if you're into cars, find a mechanic that might come on and start helping you out and be a guest on your show, and you guys can do a show together, that sort of thing. So yeah, there's always ways to incorporate other people into your videos. You just have to be creative and think out of the box. Thinking out of the box is going to be the key, because you don't want to be like everybody else. When you're like everybody else, you'll get lost in the shuffle. So we try to be different in everything we do. Matt is different in everything he does.
Well, it's neat because and actually on that point too, like they're talking about camaraderie and friendship and stuff. Everybody that we have a core group we work with, but we also bring a lot of people in. Everybody does things very differently. Everybody has a very different sense of humor even, for the most part. But what's interesting, instead of that clashing, it actually works really well, because what happens is, because we're trying to do so many projects, we might let, like, okay, he's going to take the lead on this one, he's going to take the lead on this one. So instead of just doing the parodies, like Peter said about doing events and shenanigans and playing around, we just started recording everything we were doing. So it's kind of like this really disorienting reality show, where we just happen to also make parodies that have some sort of plot structure. But then also everything else is like, what's going on behind the scenes? What's going on in general? And it's great because we started putting all those things online. And not only did they boost the subscription count, but it got us a lot more feedback from people about what like works, doesn't work, and like what they might want to see, which is neat because it's opened a whole bunch of new doors for us. And Brad.
Yeah. Well,
one other thing I want to mention is something key that Jason does is, if you want to do a YouTube, right, then you're looking at videos. You're constantly trying to create video content. Never stop the camera. The camera's always rolling. Once you're into production, so sometimes we'll be filming a parody, Jason scripts it out, and we'll be taking a break, but the camera's rolling because someone will just say something funny, or they'll just be interacting, and since they're already in costume, you'll just find little nuggets like, oh my God, that was so funny. And since it happened organically, you couldn't repeat it if you wanted to. So once you're into the flow, just keep the camera rolling. Keep the camera rolling, keep spare cards so you can always have the memory card going, and it also helps you create that content. So once you get people who do subscribe and follow you, you will be able to turn out a video a week, or more than one video, even, or a short hello a day. Why? Because the worst thing you can do is get people hungry for it, and then you don't feed them. They go, wow, you haven't put out a video in 3 weeks. Let me go find something else to do, because then you're dead in the water.
Are you singling out when I took the costume off during the Spider-Man thing?
No,
not
at all.
well, that was planned for everybody except Brad.
Yeah, he did that.
There was a scene in our Homecoming parody where when Spider-Man takes the suit off in front of his friend without realizing his friend was there, friend's like, oh my God. So we did that too, where Matt was Spider-Man and he started taking off the suit, but Brad was watching, but Brad didn't know he was going to take off the suit. So Brad's just watching him start undress in front of him, and it was funny watching his video. It made the moment much funnier than it would have been.
It was natural shock when I saw Bear Matt.
He was very, I wasn't naked, I was wearing underwear, but he was very concerned and confused. It was good.
Any other questions before we move on? Anything? No? All right. So we were talking, Matt was just talking about the behind the scenes, and Brad also mentioned keep the camera rolling. So now that we've got a formula that is working for us, we're meeting regularly, we have ideas for parody videos, and upcoming in the next few weeks we'll be doing a parody video on Thor Ragnarok, probably the Justice League again, and probably some of the other movies coming up, maybe even Star Wars. We really haven't gotten into Star Wars yet. We've only done one Star Wars parody. We thought it was hilarious, never really took off. Get her done. We got some latecomers.
You want a sword fight?
So we're putting out this regular product. We have these parody videos in the works. We have new events at the shop where we'll be filming more videos as we go along, and sometimes we just meet up for an unboxing or some improv. Just 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago during the hurricane, we met up at the shop before the hurricane hit, and I was dressed like this, and we did a video called Shazam on Tinder. So it's gonna be a big hit. Watch out for it. It's coming on in a few weeks. It was very funny, and it was very organic because the people that were with me doing it just were in shock and awe with the things that were coming out of Shazam's mouth. But Shazam was a little bit of a pervert. So
the real profile is the alarming part.
Yeah, exactly. Shazam. So now that we have the consistent videos coming out and with the consistent ideas flowing and all that, the channel's going to start growing pretty rapidly. It already has. I mean, in the past few months, it's gone up 10,000 subscribers. So we foresee it, hopefully by the end of a year from now, being over 100,000 subscribers. So the channel's in good footing and heading in the right direction. We are now setting our sights on some other stuff, and we are thinking about turning it into a reality-type TV show. And that would be based at the comic shop, and the whole point would be showing the making of the videos at the comic shop, the behind the scenes, you know, how you make the sausage, if you will. And I think that'll be a big hit because the behind the scenes and the sometimes, you know, we do argue, we have creative arguments, and those can be really funny too. Like, what are you thinking? That's dumb. No, it isn't. Yeah, but other words are used. No, not just Matt. So we're hoping to turn the whole thing into something even bigger. So hopefully next year we'll be doing an even different type of panel. But what do you have to add about that?
I mean, that's an idea that's been brewing up for a while. There's a lot of ways to look at it, but the one thing that's been unanimously agreed on is, from what we've learned about when we just kind of follow each other around, we get a lot of good things. And then a lot of it comes into other ideas too. So the idea behind this project, there's a lot of moving parts involving us and others as well that I guess I'm not really at liberty to talk about as deliberately right now. But it's kind of cool because there's a lot of professional attention behind it. And it's just a matter of finding the right formula for it. But other than that, it's going to be a pretty solid idea. And it'll also be great because we can embarrass ourselves enough with the channel, but when you see that we're exactly the same in regular life, it makes it 10 times better because you're like, what's wrong with these people? Like I don't even think anybody owns any normal clothes. This is technically a costume. So
Everything's a costume.
Everything's a costume.
Everything can be turned into a costume.
Exactly. So, and if I see any of these guys wearing just street clothes, it's confusing for me. I almost don't recognize him.
Yeah.
Jason looks like a completely different person.
Just this morning I had a baseball cap on and I fooled Brad and Amber, who's in the audience. They had no idea who I was. I never wear baseball caps. I guess that was a big deal.
Baseball cap is a big person thing to say.
Yeah.
I know a lot of times people always go, can you actually make some money off of YouTube? Can you touch a little bit about exactly what you can get?
Well, like we said, our friend Sean Ward up north, who now has 800,000 subscribers, that is his full-time job. So yes, he must be doing something right, and yes, he is making money, and he's able to pay rent, and he's able to buy clothes, and he's able to do everything that you would from a normal 9-to-5 job doing YouTube, which is awesome. I mean, but that's the dream. It took him a long time to get there. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to happen to everybody, no matter what, no matter how much you want it to happen. But if you are out there and you are putting out good content and stuff that people may want to see, it will turn into something that will grow, and you will make money. Like we said, it's about a dollar for every 1,000 views. So yeah, it may not be a lot of money. The first few checks that come in will be almost nothing, or dollars or pennies. But as you keep putting out videos and your catalog grows, that catalog will continue to grow and make money for you. So you will be making, so maybe you start with pennies, and then next thing you know, you're getting, you know, 10 bucks a month or 50 bucks a month. Or Jason got to the point where when I met him 2 years ago, he was making just about enough each month to buy other cosplays with it. And we were, at that time, still buying cheap cosplays, like Halloween costume stuff, because we were using it in the parody videos, and if you're buying 10 outfits that you're going to hand out to people, you're not going to buy 10 $300 outfits. Or make them, which most great cosplayers do. We do not make our own stuff, we buy it. Because we are sponsored by Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark.
We try to make things. It just doesn't always work.
In our audience, we have a friend. Her name is Lauren, and she makes all her cosplays. Well, a lot of them. And she's awesome. So, and there's our friend Kevin, and he made the little animatronics that made his little Iron Man hand go. Yeah. So, there are people out there that are very talented. We use humor as a talent. It's cheaper, unless it doesn't take as much time.
And a thing too, it's like the biggest question people have always had is how do you make money? And I know the answer doesn't always sound specific when you say get more views, in essence. But really, I mean, like anything, Peter already touched on consistency, building a viewer base. All it takes is someone, the right person to share a video, where the right other people see it, that like it, and they share it. That's how things pick up speed. So if you're able to do it, I mean, it is work. If you can put out 1 or more videos a week, it increases the odds where someone sees it, hey, I like this. They go check your channel. I like that. You get subscribers. You start getting shares. And it's a slow crawl at first, but the more you get, the more that starts to increase. So, I mean, it really is that simple. It's just staying at it. And the money with time. I mean, I have a YouTube channel personally. I've never made money.
but he's got a good idea. He's gonna start reviewing things as Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I have a channel I'm gonna be starting next. It's a YouTube channel I'm gonna be starting next month. So hopefully it'll be something that works. I'm just gonna be basically doing a bunch of tangents as Keanu Reeves, reviewing things, mostly movies. So it's in the work there. So I'm hoping it turns out good. I intend to do the first one today while I'm here, and I'm gonna review MegaCon.
And I'll tell you what. He looks like Keanu Reeves today. He looks like John Wick. So if I'm Keanu Reeves one day, and I'm sitting on my phone, messing around, waiting for my next $20 million movie script to come in, and I see this character come, tweet me this thing, this video, and I look at it, and I'm like, hey, this guy looks like me. Oh, this is funny. I'm actually going to retweet it. He's going to be a big star someday. You're going to say, I knew Matthew Scott Kimple way back when.
As long as it's funny and not insulting, that's the line to walk.
Yeah. It's okay to insult yourself to be funny. It's okay to go outside your box. It's okay to leave your comfort zone. That's going to be sometimes the secret to your success.
One thing I want to touch on just real quick, and they can probably talk to it more, is a lot of people are always concerned about the trolls, the people who hate. It's actually a double-edged sword, and they're stupid. So if I go, oh, check this out, I hate this, watch this. Instead, if you hate something, you would just not do that. But they go, I have 5,000 friends, I'm going to make them watch this because you're stupid. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, troll, dumb, kids and dummy. I was about to crazy.
No, that's the best part, because those people have no idea.
So, you know, don't hate them, don't necessarily go into battle with them. Let them help promote you with their hate. And they're like, oh, check this out, they stink. Okay. Yes, check out how much we stink. Check it out again and again, and tell more of your friends to check it out. Yeah.
The best part is too, if you are going to respond, which again, not recommended, but you don't just respond with, well, you're dumb.
I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, I know you are. That's most of it though.
Okay.
But it's even better when we do read, we get our trolls, we get our haters, when the other people are coming in and defending us. So reading through these is actually really entertaining, and it's kind of cool because we have our own little champions in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't even have to respond. It's actually kind of awesome.
Yeah. Sometimes it is fun to respond. I can't help it. I'm a fighter. Yeah. I'm out there fighting every day. This is business. This is livelihood, and it's very territorial. And sometimes you have to stick up for yourself. And I also don't recommend having wars on social media with people, but sometimes you do need to stick up for yourself. But always do it in a way that spins it so your haters are always watching you. You're in their head, and that's kind of fun knowing that. So, real quick, any other questions? Nope, not one question. Boxers or briefs? Briefs.
They were
Boxers.
with the
That's
spider.
lame.
Yeah.
John Wick single.
Is John Wick single?
John Wick is single, and he's ready to mingle.
I lost my
Yes,
dog.
miss.
Just John Wick want to go on a date.
Do you want to go on a date, John Wick?
You go on a date with me?
Do you have a puppy?
Do you have a dog?
Do you want to give him a puppy? Because he's in the market for a puppy and a wife.
I can't give him either at the moment.
Oh. You definitely don't want to give him the latter.
No!
Do you have any gold coins?
No.
This is a day of disappointment.
Are you gonna dance?
So when another not necessarily relating to every YouTube channel, but what we have a lot of fun with is coming up with our props sometimes. And just this morning we were brainstorming gold coins, and we started with chocolate candy gold coins, and then we turned it into poker chips and spray paint them. So that's what we're going to do. Next week we're going to be spray painting gold poker chips gold. It's going to be fun.
As long as it takes more work to do something simple, it's better because it's cosplay.
Right. Spray paint is your friend.
Spray paint's your friend.
That's nice.
Okay, guys. So I do believe this is going to be wrapping up if there are no more questions. No? Your last chance to...
They don't even have to be relevant questions.
Yeah. If you want to follow us, we mentioned Instagram, and we mentioned the hashtags and all that stuff. If you want a question...
Do you know what your next video is going to be?
Our next big parody will be Thor Ragnarok. Yeah. And then Justice League
It's
soon
going to be
after.
real soon.
And we have a few in the can, of course, too. And I'm not talking about the toilet.
I like that.
Thor's going to be a good one.
So, just to wrap everything up, be consistent, be yourself, put out product that you have fun making. To market it, use Instagram. Find out what hashtags are trending for whatever topic is. Put those hashtags out. Grow your Instagram followers, grow your YouTube subscribers. Use Twitter, especially when you want to reach famous people. It's probably the best way to reach famous people. And sometimes the only way. And just keep being yourself. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach us on social media. Matt is at Matthew Scott Kimple on Instagram. I'm at Viera Comics, Brad Scott Art, and of course Jason, our founder, is at MELF_studios and on YouTube at Make 'em Laugh Films. So please subscribe to Make 'em Laugh Films if you have not yet. Please follow us on Instagram if you have not yet. We promise we will always try to entertain you with buffoonery and costumes. And we really, truly thank you all for giving us an hour today-ish. And we hope you have a great rest of your MegaCon. And that is that.
And when people, despite what anyone tells you, you're allowed to make up your own hashtags. Because when you do get there, those hashtags will only be associated with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
They told me I'm wrong. And regarding Twitter, if you also tweet Conan O'Brien, tell him to reply.
Yeah. I tweet Conan every night. Now, on that note, thank you.